Here's your news for July 6, 2020. And your headlines for today include: Kairi Sane is no longer advertised for WWE Raw. Bobby Lashley and MVP involved in a physical altercation at a restaurant. More evidence on Matt Riddle comes out. Rey Mysterio is working for WWE without a contract. Leaked information about John Cena not wanting WWE to sign AJ Styles revealed. Pillman Jr in AEW. Sasha Banks fires back at Booker T, and more. We're kicking off with news from Raw, as in the preview for tonight's show, the WWE did something very strange on social media. Hyping up tonight's Asuka vs. Bayley match, the company posted a graphic online which included Kairi Sane being in her tag partner's corner, despite Sane being absent for several weeks. Now though, the graphic has been replaced with one that doesn't include Sane, as it now seems that the Raw Women's Champion will be going it alone against Bayley, who'll have Sasha Banks in her corner. Before Sane's recent injury, there were reportedly plans for her to serve as WWE's ambassador in Japan, though it's unclear how this would affect her in-ring career. In addition to this, Sane also got married earlier this year, leading many to believe that a permanent move to Japan is in the works for the Kabuki Warrior, as it would allow her to spend more time with her husband. There's been speculation that the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion may have already wrestled her last match in WWE, and whilst that remains to be seen, it's clear that fans won't be seeing anything from Sane tonight. We're sticking with the red brand next, as Bobby Lashley and MVP have proven to be a formidable duo on TV, and now outside of the ring as well. Recently, MVP took to Instagram to share a clip of the pair at Miller's Ale House, and when one man bumped into the duo, things quickly turned ugly. After the masked man asked the two WWE superstars what their problem is, Lashley can be seen grabbing him by the jaw and forcing him against a wall, much to the delight of his manager, who asked if the man still thought there was a problem. Leaving the man visibly shaken as they left, the segment was obviously scripted, as the cops would have been called if this were real, but this definitely helped show Lashley's strength and size out of the ring. Since returning to WWE in 2018, the former Intercontinental Champion has made it clear he wants to fight Brock Lesnar, and whilst a stranger in an alehouse isn't quite the caliber of the Beast incarnate, Lashley remains one of the top stars of the red brand. From Raw to SmackDown, as Matt Riddle recently faced claims of wrongdoing by independent wrestler Kandy Cartwright, who has now fired back herself at claims made at her by Riddle himself. After a statement from Riddle said that Cartwright had been stalking him and his family for the last 2 years, the indie star posted a photo of herself and Riddle kissing in May of 2019, showing that she wasn't stalking. A tweet from Riddle's account around the same time also shows the King of Bros wearing the same shirt as the one seen in Cartwright's photo, as it certainly looks like the picture is legit and refutes Riddle's claims that Cartwright was stalking the family. Despite these claims being made about Riddle, it doesn't seem to have hurt him in WWE's eyes, as he's received a strong push since moving to SmackDown, including getting a victory over AJ Styles. Riddle was just one of many big names to be called out recently, as several major names in wrestling faced claims, which led to the release of Jack Gallagher, El Ligero, and Travis Banks. Kandy's original claims against Riddle said that the SmackDown superstar forced himself on her, and now that some holes have been poked in his defense, time will tell how WWE react to this update. Now, as the reigning Intercontinental Champion, a former US Champion, and WWE Champion, AJ Styles has done well since his shocking WWE debut in January 2016. However, it turns out that not everyone was a fan of the Phenomenal One coming, as Arn Anderson revealed in his podcast that John Cena himself didn't want Styles in WWE. Speaking on his show, the WWE Hall of Famer said he was pleasantly surprised WWE signed Styles, and spoke about when he pitched for the company to sign Styles, Robert Roode, and James Storm whilst they were in TNA. I said, if you brought those 3 guys in, it would give you a whole plethora of new opponents. It would give a lot of guys new opponents. John looked at me and said, we've got NXT. We make our own stars. Anderson went on to say that he feels Cena was parroting Vince McMahon's views, and also spoke about Cowboy James Storm's brief time in WWE, saying that although WWE would have benefited from having the Cowboy within WWE, that there's plenty of reasons that could explain why he didn't sign, such as the money being too low or the meeting with executives not going well. Whilst Styles, Storm, and Rude would all eventually join WWE, it's clear that Styles has done the best for himself, as he's not only won championship gold and feuded with top names like Daniel Bryan and The Undertaker, but his resume also includes holding victories over Big Match John. From one former world champion to another now, as it's being reported that Rey Mysterio is working without a WWE contract. According to Dave Meltzer, Rey hasn't signed a new deal with the company despite being in a high-profile feud on Raw with Seth Rollins, and his most recent deal was inked in September of 2018 after he appeared at the original All In event. Since returning, Rey has done pretty well for himself, as he's had multiple reigns as United States Champion, faced Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, and is now working against the Monday Night Messiah alongside his son Dominic. Part of Rey's reasons for returning to WWE was to help prepare Dominic for an eventual career in the ring. And given that the second-generation star has been appearing more as of late, it looks like Rey's main reason to remain with the company may soon become a thing of the past. We are looking at AEW next, as this week's edition of Dark will have plenty of reasons for fans to tune in. On this Tuesday's show, Brian Pillman Jr. will make his AEW singles debut despite currently being signed to Major League Wrestling, as he'll take on Shawn Spears. Though this will be Pillman's first singles match in AEW, he has worked for the company in the past, as he competed in the Casino Battle Royal at last year's Double or Nothing. This is just one of a total of 8 matches for the show, which will also see Orange Cassidy take on Will Hobbs, the Dark Order's Grayson and Evil Uno face Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon, and Frankie Kazarian face Luther. This is certainly a stacked show to say the least, and fans will be able to see how the son of the loose cannon does in his first AEW singles match tomorrow night on YouTube. Back to WWE now, and while this month we'll see the company's annual Extreme Rules pay-per-view, it's undergone another name change. After originally being called Extreme Rules, the company changed the show's name to Extreme Rules The Horror Show, and now the WWE is advertising the July 19th event as The Horror Show at Extreme Rules, though it's unclear why there's been another name change. As of right now, only a handful of matches have been announced for the show, including matches for the WWE, SmackDown, and Raw Women's Championships, as well as the Wyatt Swamp fight, but fans can expect many more ahead of the Horror Show at Extreme Rules on July 19th. One person who will be competing at the Horror Show is SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, but not everyone will be too pleased at that. On his radio show, two-time WWE Hall of Famer Booker T delivered a masterclass in the backhanded compliments, saying that the former hugger isn't great at anything, but she's good at everything. Describing the SmackDown Women's and Tag Team Champion as the quintessential worker, Booker's comments weren't received well by Bayley's tag team partner Sasha Banks, who said that the reigning WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are better than Harlem Heat. This is hardly the first time that the reigning women's tag champs have made such a big claim, as they recently said they were better than The Undertaker on SmackDown, and added that the dead man would want them to have a celebration about themselves. Describing herself as Sasha 3 shows and her tag partner as Bayley 3 brands in the tweet, it's no secret that the women's tag team champions have been around a lot as of late, and we'll have to wait until tonight's Raw to see whether Bayley is great at anything or just good at everything. We're focusing on April's WWE releases now, as Sarah Logan was one of the superstars let go, but she now has something in the works. On Twitter, Viking Raider Eric, Logan's husband, sent out a tweet to hype his wife's career announcement that she'll make today, and suggested everyone tune in to the Wild and Free TV Instagram to find out. Whilst the former Raw Tag Team Champion probably knows what the announcement is, he's not the best at social media, as he tagged his wife's old WWE account in his tweet instead of the account she now uses under her real name, Sarah Rowe. By the time this video comes out, Sarah's announcement may have already been revealed, and it'll be interesting to see what the former Riot Squad member has planned next after her WWE release. We've got an update on the company's Performance Center next, as the WWE have instituted a new mask mandate, which is a far cry from Kevin Dunn demanding people take off masks and saying that those who wear them aren't real fans. Now, Fightful is reporting that this change came after a Raw superstar returned from a hiatus, and after telling Vince McMahon that people weren't wearing masks or social distancing, this caused the boss to take action. At 74 years old, Vince is at a greater risk than most, which is why it's not too surprising that McMahon reportedly keeps himself stowed away in an office during tapings and occasionally comes out to the gorilla position. It's being said that everyone must keep masks on unless they're on TV, and failure to do so will result in fines, and given that the current situation shows no signs of slowing down, employees may be wearing masks for a very long time. And we're ending today with news from SummerSlam, as there's more bad news for the biggest party of the summer. Though the original plan was for the show to be hosted at Boston's TD Garden, it seems plans have changed, as John Pollock reported, "When we inquired about the location of SummerSlam, it was said to be TBD, with the likely scenario of it being at the Performance Center." Given that the majority of pay-per-views have aired from the Performance Center, this isn't all that surprising, but it'll be interesting to see how the company recovers from another huge blow in this unprecedented year.